Hello and welcome to our channel. Today we're diving into the incredible life of Nelson Mandela, a global icon of peace, justice and resilience. Let's explore his journey from a small village in South Africa to becoming a symbol of freedom worldwide. Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela was born on July 18, 1918, in the small village of Mvezo in the Transkei, South Africa. He was born into the Thembu royal family, with his father, Gadla Henry Mfakanyiswa, serving as a local chief and councillor to the Thembu king, and his mother, Nosekeni Fanny, being the third of his father's 4 wives. Rolihlahla means pulling the branch of a tree, but more colloquially, it means troublemaker. Mandela's early education was at a local Methodist school where he was given the name Nelson by a teacher, following the common practice of giving African children English names. He then attended the Clarkbury Boarding Institute, the foremost Western-style institution in Thembuland, followed by Hilltown, a Wesleyan college in Fort Beaufort, known for its strict discipline. Mandela enrolled at the University of Fort Hare, the only residential centre of higher education for blacks in South Africa at the time. However, he left without completing his degree due to his involvement in a student protest against university policies. This act of defiance marked the beginning of Mandela's lifelong commitment to fighting injustice. In 1941, Mandela moved to Johannesburg to avoid an arranged marriage. He worked various jobs, including as a night watchman at a mine and later as a clerk at the law firm Witkin, Sidelski and Eidelman. It was during this time that he completed his BA through the University of South Africa, UNISA, and enrolled at the University of Witwatersrand to study law, though he didn't finish his degree there. Mandela's political journey took a significant turn when he joined the African National Congress, ANC, in 1944. Along with Anton Lembede, Walter Sisulu and Oliver Tambo, Mandela co-founded the ANC Youth League, ANCIL, which aimed to transform the ANC into a more radical and mass-based movement. In the early 1950s, Mandela became deeply involved in the Defiance campaign against apartheid laws. As the national volunteer-in-chief, he traveled the country organizing protests and civil disobedience. During this period, he and Oliver Tambo co-founded South Africa's first black law firm, Mandela and Tambo, providing affordable legal counsel to black South Africans who were often denied representation. In 1956, Mandela and 155 other activists were arrested and charged with treason. The trial lasted until 1961, ending with the acquittal of all defendants. With the increasing brutality of the apartheid regime, Mandela co-founded Umkhonto weSizwe, Spear of the Nation, the armed wing of the ANC, advocating sabotage against government installations as a form of resistance. In 1962, he was arrested again and sentenced to 5 years in prison for inciting workers to strike and leaving the country without a passport. While serving his sentence, Mandela was brought to trial again in 1964, along with other ANC leaders, in what became known as the Rivonia trial. They were charged with sabotage and other offences. In his famous speech from the dock, Mandela declared, "I have fought against white domination, and I have fought against black domination. I have cherished the ideal of a democratic and free society in which all persons live together in harmony and with equal opportunities. It is an ideal which I hope to live for and to achieve. But if needs be, it is an ideal for which I am prepared to die." Mandela and his co-defendants were sentenced to life imprisonment. Mandela spent 27 years in prison, primarily on Robben Island. Despite the harsh conditions, Mandela continued to inspire the anti-apartheid movement. He pursued a law degree through correspondence, studied and taught his fellow prisoners, and became a central figure in the global fight against apartheid. During his imprisonment, Mandela became an international symbol of resistance to apartheid. Free Nelson Mandela became a rallying cry for activists worldwide. His birthday, July 18th, was celebrated as Mandela Day, with calls for his release and the end of apartheid growing louder each year. On February 11, 1990, Nelson Mandela was released from prison amid increasing domestic and international pressure on the apartheid government. His release was a pivotal moment in South African history. Mandela immediately began negotiating with President F.W. de Klerk to dismantle apartheid and establish a multiracial democracy. These negotiations were fraught with tension and violence, but ultimately successful. In 1993, Mandela and de Klerk were jointly awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for their efforts. In April 1994, South Africa held its first fully democratic elections. Nelson Mandela was elected as the country's first black president. His inauguration on May 10, 1994, marked the end of centuries of colonialism and apartheid. Mandela's presidency focused on reconciliation, nation-building, and creating a new constitution that guaranteed equal rights for all South Africans. One of Mandela's most significant contributions was the establishment of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, chaired by Archbishop Desmond Tutu. The commission aimed to uncover the truth about human rights violations during apartheid and promote healing and reconciliation. Mandela's efforts to foster racial harmony and build a rainbow nation were critical in preventing civil war and setting South Africa on a path towards democracy and social justice. Mandela retired from the presidency in 1999, but continued his advocacy work through the Nelson Mandela Foundation. He championed causes such as HIV/AIDS awareness, peace, and human rights. Mandela's influence extended beyond South Africa, inspiring movements for justice and equality worldwide. In his later years, Mandela faced several health challenges, including recurring lung infections, a legacy of the tuberculosis he contracted while imprisoned. Despite his frailty, he remained active in public life as much as his health allowed. On December 5, 2013, Nelson Mandela passed away at his home in Johannesburg at the age of 95. His death was mourned by millions, with tributes pouring in from leaders and citizens around the world. Nelson Mandela's life is a testament to the power of resilience, forgiveness, and the enduring struggle for justice. From a small village in the Transkei to the presidency of South Africa, Mandela's journey is an inspiration to us all. His commitment to reconciliation and human dignity reshaped a nation and continues to influence global movements for equality. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more inspiring stories.